Hello friends, and welcome to Adesola. In today's video, we will be having a Bible study. Yes, I said it. A Bible study about one of the most dramatic and spiritually loaded stories in the Old Testament. Now picture this. Imagine paying a prophet to curse someone, and each time the prophet opens up their mouth, they end up blessing the person. Yes, this is the classic story of Balaam and King Balak. And why are we even doing a Bible study today? I mean, some of you may be like, come on now, girl. I mean, stay in your lane. We love your stories. Yes. The reason why we're having a Bible study today is because I want to point out to you that the stories in the Bible are more than just stories. If you dive deep into the stories and bring out lessons from it, like you can apply those lessons to your life to elevate your living. So welcome again to Adesola, where we step into ancient stories with a modern heart. So since today is going to be a Bible study, make sure you have your Bibles, and of course I'm going to have the scriptures up on the screen for you as well. Grab a journal if you need one, and most importantly, just listen and check out for things, because in today's video a word will be said that will be particularly for you to elevate your living, and I do not want you to miss it. Okay, all right. On our character list for this video, we have Balak. Balak is the king of the Moabites, and basically he looked at the children of Israel and he was so scared because they were winning everyone around them, and he was like, how can I thwart them? I'm gonna curse them spiritually. He wasn't about physical, he wanted to go the spiritual route. Now the second person on our character list today is Balaam. Balaam is known to be like a power for hire. What do I mean by that? He's not 100% faithful to God. He's also not 100% evil. So he's the kind of person that you can hire him to use his powers against someone else. So there we go. We have King Balak and we have Balaam, the prophet. All right, y'all. I know the names are really similar, but just hang in there with me. So remember, we have Balak, the king, and we have Balaam, the prophet with a reputation. Got it? All right, let's get into the Bible study, shall we? Before we dive into the scriptures, I do want to point out that this particular story will be a two-part Bible study, okay? In this particular video, we will be looking into Balaam, the prophet. Yeah, the prophet with a reputation. And in the next one, we'll be looking more into Balak, the king, okay? Let's get into it. So right now we're in Numbers chapter 22, and we're going to be doing from verse 1 to the end. Now remember Balak, the king. At this point in time, Balak is the king of, the Moabites, like he's a Moab king. So what he did was he looked around and he saw the children of Israel. He saw that every battle that they went to, they were successful. He could tell that the children of Israel was blessed. So he looked around. He didn't want to go against them. So what did he do? Balak the king came up with the idea that, you know what, I'm not going to attack them physically, I'm going to attack them spiritually. So this is how he wanted to send for Balaam. Okay, we're ready. I have my word. Normally I use the King James Version for my own personal study, only because I love King James Version. However, because this is a Bible study and I do want you to understand, it is important to me that you understand and follow on with everything we're talking about. I will be reading from the New Living Translation. Okay, that's the NLT. So we're currently in Numbers chapter 22. I'll be reading 5 to 14 first. So go ahead and follow on with me. So Balak, king of Moab, sent messengers to call Balaam, son of Beor, who was living in his native land in Pethor, near the Euphrates River. His message said, "Look, a vast horde of people has arrived from Egypt. They cover the face of the earth and are threatening me. Please come and curse these people for me, because they are too powerful for me. Then perhaps I will be able to conquer them and drive them from the land. I know that blessings fall on any people you bless, and curses fall on people you curse." Balak's messengers, who were elders of Moab and Midian, set out with money to pay Balaam to place a curse on Israel. They went to Balaam and delivered Balak's message to him. "Stay here overnight," Balaam said. "In the morning, I will tell you whatever the Lord directs me to say." So the officials of Moab stayed there with Balaam. That night, God came to Balaam and asked him, "Who are these men visiting you?" Balaam said to God, Balak, son of Zippor, king of Moab, has sent me this message. Look, a vast horde of people has arrived from Egypt, and they cover the face of the earth. Come and curse these people for me. Then perhaps I will be able to stand up to them and drive them from the land. But God told Balaam, do not go with them. You were not to curse these people, for they have been blessed. The next morning, Balaam got up and told Balak's officials, go on home. The Lord will not let me go with you. So what happened here? Basically, the king knew that there is this prophet that can work for gain. The reason why he was sending people to meet Balaam in the first place was because Balaam's reputation precedes him. So he knew that this guy, this prophet, could actually curse people. If you note, he said, I know that whoever you curse is cursed. I know whoever you bless is blessed, right? So he sent people with money, and he was like, yo, go and meet this prophet and ask him to come to me and curse these people for me. The enemy always knows when you are untouchable. Like, he knows that he couldn't attack them physically, but he wanted to go the spiritual route. Now, why would you go meet a prophet to come and curse the children of God? It could have been that King Balak at this point did not know that, okay, these are the children of God or whatever. All he saw were a powerful people. He saw a powerful people that looked like they were blessed and they were untouchable. So he wanted to use the resources that the prophet had, which is the access to God, in order to curse these people. So when he got there, Balaam was like, all right, bet, stay here overnight and I'll let you know in the morning. That night, when Balaam went to bed, God came to him. I was like, who are these people with you? And Balaam was like, this is what they came to say. This is who they are and this and that. He said everything word for word. At this point, he was good, Remember in the beginning when I talked about, like, he was neither like faithful nor evil. So he basically told God that this is what they're here for. And guess what God told him? God said, do not go with them. You're not to curse these people because what? They have been blessed. So of course, Balaam woke up in the morning. I was like, yo, I can't go with you. This is above my pay grade. Bye. And that's what happened. So what happened next was that these people actually left and they went to meet the king. And now let's read further. So the Moabite officials returned to King Balak and reported, Balaam refused to come with us. Then Balak tried again. This time, he sent a larger number of even more distinguished officials than those he had sent the first time. They went to Balaam and delivered this message to him. This is what the king said. Please don't let anything stop you from coming to help me. I will pay you very well and do whatever you tell me. Just come and curse these people for me. But Balaam responded to Balak's messengers, even if Balak were to give me his palace filled with silver and gold, I would be powerless to do anything against the will of the Lord my God. But stay here one more night and I will see if God has anything else to say to me. Did you get that? He was like, even if you gave me all the money in the world, I cannot do anything but what the Lord has asked me to do. I'm powerless. He was trying to tell them like, yo, the Lord has kind of spoken, but I can't do anything else. But because he saw more money and he saw more distinguished guests, he was like, you know what? Stay here though. Let me go back and go and ask God. This is what we do most of the time. When God has told us about something, he's already told us like his stand on it. And then we see like that offer is becoming very enticing. That girl is looking very beautiful. Even if the Lord has told you that's not your wife, that's not your husband, you see that person, you're like, ooh, but they're fine. You're like, you know what, Lord? What do you think? Should I go for him? Should I do it, Lord? This is what homeboy was doing over there. So that night when he went to sleep, God told him, God said, okay, you want to go so bad? All right, bet, go, but do whatever I tell you to do. Balaam was like, yes, Lord, of course I want to go. The very next morning, he was like, yes, let's go. He got on his donkey and he was moving. All right, let's read further to see what is going on with Prophet Balaam here. So the next morning, Balaam got up, saddled his donkey, and started off with the Moabite officials. But God was angry that Balaam was going. So he sent the angel of God to stand in the road to block his way. As Balaam and two servants were riding along, Balaam's donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with a drawn sword in his hand. The donkey bolted off the road into a field, but Balaam beat it and turned it back on the road. Then the angel of the Lord stood at a place where the road narrowed between two vineyard walls. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, it tried to squeeze by and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall. So Balaam beat the donkey again. Then the angel of the Lord moved farther down the road and stood in a place too narrow for the donkey to get by at all. This time, when the donkey saw the angel, it lay down under Balaam. In a fit of rage, Balaam beat the animal again with his staff. Then the Lord gave the donkey the ability to speak. What have I done to you to deserve this beating? 3 times it asked Balaam. You have made me look like a fool. Balaam shouted, if I had a sword with me, I would kill you. But I am the same donkey you have ridden all your life. The donkey answered, have I ever done anything like this before? No, Balaam admitted. So this part is always the one that gets me. So basically we see Balaam that is ready to go, work for his pay. He wanted to go make some money. So he got on his donkey and he was moving. You remember that when he asked God the second time, God was like, since you want to go so bad, go, right? But God was upset with him. That is how you know that in the spiritual realm, there is something called the perfect will of God and there's something called the permissive will of God. In the perfect will of God for Balaam, he did not want him to go at all. But Balaam, knowing that God already said no, and because he wanted to go, he went back and asked God. God was like, all right, now let's go into my permissive will. And he's like, okay, go. You want to go so bad, go. But guess what? Don't do anything I don't tell you to do. But that doesn't mean God was happy with him. Of course, God wasn't happy with him. So when Balaam was moving with his donkey that he's been riding for years, right? The Lord made his angel stand in the way because he was upset with Balaam. Now, Balaam is a man of God. His eyes should be open to things like this. But at that point, he was already blinded by the things that he's about to gain or the things he thinks he's about to gain from this whole transaction. So he was blinded. He couldn't see. But guess who saw? The donkey. Oh my goodness. The donkey saw even when Balaam was blinded by greed. Now we're in verse 31 and we're going to read to the end. Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the roadway with a drawn sword in his hand. Balaam bowed his head and fell face down on the ground before him. Why did you beat your donkey those 3 times? The angel of the Lord demanded. Look, I have come to block your way because you're stubbornly resisting me. 3 times the donkey saw me and shied away. Otherwise, I would certainly have killed you by now and spared the donkey. Then Balaam confessed to the angel of the Lord, I have sinned. I didn't realize you were standing in the road to block my way. I will return home if you are against my going. But the angel of the Lord told Balaam, go with this man, but say only what I tell you to say. So Balaam went on with Balak's officials. So basically what happened there was that finally his eyes were open and he saw the angel, and the angel admonished him like, why did you beat your donkey? The donkey didn't do nothing to you. The donkey saved your life, just the way people are going to be there to save our lives. And when our eyes are not open to the word of God, we see the people who are trying to save us as we see them as though they hate us. We see them as though they want to harm us. But in reality, what is happening is that we are so blinded by the idols of our hearts that we want so much that we can't even hear the truth. We can't see the truth. This happens a lot. So at this point, Balaam confessed. He was like, Lord, I know I've sinned. I'm going to go back if you don't want me to go. He's even still saying if. That shows you how deeply this man wants to go. So the angel of the Lord told him, and he was like, okay, you want to go? Bet. All right, go. Go, but guess what? Say only the things that I want you to say. There's one thing you're going to learn when you walk with God. It's that in whatever situation, regardless of whatever you choose to do, the Lord will still be praised. He will still use that for his honor. So he knew that Balaam wanted to go so bad. So he's like, okay, go. So what happened here is that the angel of the Lord told him, go. However, everything you're going to do over there has to be what the Lord has commanded you. Why did the angel of God even have to say this? It's because Balaam is known for using his power for profit. So this brings us to the end of our part 1. Remember, I said we're going to have 2 parts to this video. In part 2, we will dig deeper to see what happened after the encounter with the angel. Now, what are some lessons to learn here from Prophet Balaam. Have you ever met someone like Prophet Balaam, who, even though he has that power and the God-given purpose, they end up using it for selfish ambitions? Another thing to note in this particular Bible study is that selfish ambition can dull your spiritual sight. Because Balaam was so, he wanted to go so bad, he didn't even see the Spirit of the Lord standing there. He didn't see the angel standing in the road. This is someone that the Lord basically communes with and talks to. He hears from the Lord, but still his sight was shut because he couldn't see, because he didn't want to see. Another thing that I do want us to note for sure is that sometimes the things that are blocking us are not there to harm us. They're there to actually save our life. For example, the donkey. If a donkey could see and have that sight even when Balaam was so blinded by his ambition, who are the people in your life right now that are acting like that donkey, trying to save you, but you're really just being frustrated at them? This is a call to reflect. Make sure you go back today and think about that. Think about the role that you're playing. Are you being a Prophet Balaam, or are you someone who is looking for every means to hurt a child of God? And if you are the child of God, imagine all these things happen and they didn't even know about it. In part 2, we're going to see how everything played out, and it is very wonderful. Thank you once again for being here. It's always nice to see you, and let me know in the comments, do you actually love Bible studies? I love Bible studies, and I'm going to try to keep doing more Bible studies so that we can dive deeper and not just see Bible stories as stories. There is lessons within all this. So watch out for part 2, and until then, I love you and God loves you more. Bye-bye.